Well, welcome. We're back for the finish. Working on the finish. A lot of this video is going to be very boring. Sanding. Last night during the live stream, I fiberglassed the nose of this and did the cowl. So, just the outside. So, there's going to be a whole lot of sanding. I didn't say this video is going to be exciting. If you watched the hangout last night, it's not up for view right now because Helmet Head put some kind of nonsense in it. It's editing right now. We cut out that snake deal. That's okay. He's a moron. But they gave us $12. Them guys show up and do donate. So hey Roy. This is a pretty rough shape. But that's what all this is for. We'll get it. I think happened to my 80 grit. There it is. Oh, crap. I'll stay on for an hour and then I'll sand offline because this is not exciting. It's just not. It's editing right now. It'll be up in a bit when it's done editing. When it's finished. There we are. Supposedly 26 minutes it's going to take to edit. Like I say, this is not exciting. I don't know why you guys want to watch this stuff, but whatever. Let's see here. You guys watch me do this. Yes, your cowling is glass. You guys watch me do this, and it looks easy. Well, it is easy. But I don't suggest you try it. It takes a lot of practice. Practice up before you try it on something. You see how crappy that hole looks? You get it close with this, and then come back with the paper. I'm going to do this here. So, the thing to do would be to, let me cut this up here. Where's my knife? The thing to do would be to bolt this on and sand it on the airplane. I still need to superfill this. I just don't have any saran wrap. So there we go. Anybody can do what I do. It just takes practice. This is not, you don't have to be a genius to do this stuff. It's manual labor. We've probably got about a week getting this ready for paint. About a week. We need to cut that off there. Get my needle valve hole. Depends on what it weighs. It depends on what it weighs. Because you got to have some structure. Because this thing is pretty thin. Probably sand on it a little more. But you see, it's already 3/32. I mean, it's got a little bit on the sides, but it's pretty thin. Yeah, well, there's not many good shots of me glassing this on the hangout because they were talking and I just was working in the background. But I've done fiberglass shots a dozen times. This video is more along, this series is more along the lines of painting. And painting is sanding. That's all there is to it. We need to get a weight on this thing to see where we're at. Okay, I don't know if you can see how crappy that is right there. That'll all come off. It's an 80 on that. Hey, thank you, Roy. Merry Christmas. About the only Christmas gifts I'm going to get. We'll get some dope on this too. Okay, I don't know if that shows up on there. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing and how nice it'll look at the end. There we go. Okay, so I've knocked all the high shit off of there. 80 grit. Now you could do like Len does and put another coat of fire, resin over the top of this. There's no need for it. I put dope over it and tissue after I get it smooth. We better have some 180. Then we'll go to 320. This is the finish. Sanding. RC Fred, good morning. Merry Christmas. Yes. The reason why you put the tissue over the top of the fiberglass or the cloth is that in the sun during the summer, this will start to shrink. Well, what happens is you can see the weave through the paint, and that ain't no good. So in order to alleviate that, I've come up with all different ways to make the nose look clean by putting the paper over the cloth, by eliminating the dissimilar, I don't know what you call it, but you sand through the balsa and into the maple. You can always see that maple motor mount. Well, I don't sand through the maple because I put that 3/16 piece on top, and I don't use plywood doublers, so it's all balsa. It's not dissimilar material. So it's thinking ahead for longevity. Well, we got a big boogie there. Use this. There we go. You can't feel that line now, see? That's as good. I gotta put the spinner back in this and sand and putty to the spinner to make it perfect, which I normally don't do, but I'm gonna do it on this one. And if you're not ambidextrous, you better learn to. You better learn to be. That turned out pretty good. Well, there's going to be a change in it, but remember when the snake went up the guy's butt? That's getting cut out of there. Stupid kids. But they did give $12 in super chat last night. So I mean, this turned out real nice. Real nice. Them guys just get a kick out of messing with us. I don't know why. I'm pretty fast on the draw, though. I can get them out pretty quick. Okay. Looks like a little bit more right here. Okay, we need to sand this nose a little more. Then we'll put some dope on it. 320, 320. That's 400. This is painting, guys. It ain't about how much you put on, it's how much you take off. Okay, let's put a coat of dope on it. So we got that. We need to get them holes put in there so I don't lose them. Okay, zoom out a little bit. Come on. So the goal for today, oh, there's a spot right there. The goal for today is to get this top tissued and the dope on the fuselage, and then we'll sand it out. That ain't no good. Let's put it on this block, 80 grit, which is here. 180, I mean. See with your hands, not with your eyes. With your eyes, we'll miss it. Tonight we may get fillets in it. And then the real work begins, all the sanding. Okay. Yeah, I see a spot right there. I need it. So it's just a once over with what happened there. Oop. Remember, the inside of the canopy, inside of this fuselage has to be finished before I do anything. So this is what's going to get painted first, right here. I still need to make these fairings for inside the flaps too. I made one, 3 more to go, and then I fix the flaps and elevators to match. What the fuck happened there? Must be glue. You don't want to miss anything, huh? The biggest thing is sanding. Slather it on and sand it off. Well, that's about as far as I can go. Yeah, it's 60-40. Putting this paint on is not the biggest deal. It's sanding it off. What gives you the finish is the sanding. It's not the painting. And if you're not willing to sand, you're not going to have a front row finish. The more you sand, the lighter and the shinier and smoother the finish is. They're just the only cheat that there is spray shine. And it's heavy. It looks good, but it's bad. You're looking for a quick fix, just right now, with no more sanding, I could paint this thing white or whatever, shoot a coat of spray shine on it, sand it one time, polish it, it'd look perfect. It'd look great. But it's a lot of weight. 2 coats of spray shine really looks good. Looks plasti dipped. I got some plasti dip here. We could just dip it in it. So now where I'm at in the finish is I got to let this dry. And then I'll sand it. I got to go to the store and get some saran wrap so I can do the super fill to make these lines perfect. What I did there is I opened the nose ring up to let some air through there and kind of make them match the cowl. Trying to do an extra special job, you know. I got this nose pretty good. I got all the flats out of it. I buffed it. And if you, before I go, I'll show you this. How I try to do these things is if you look, you got one, 2, 3, 4, and then the carbon fiber, five layers that you went through to make this nose super streamlined. But the difference is the way that I build is that normally right here you'll end up going through the maple motor mount, and in the sun that maple motor mount will pop out. So by doing it this way and glassing over it, it doesn't show up. And then of course the tissue on the outside also helps because you're not showing the grain, the weave of the glass. Because if you painted this right now and put it out in the sun, within a month, by the end of summer, you'll be able to see the grain or the weave in the fiberglass in the nose. So put tissue over it, and it doesn't cost you anything. It helps the paint stick. Now, there was an adage saying that you had to use primer on glass. Well, I used to think that way until I quit using primer. You know, remember when DC 540 went away? I had no alternative, so I just started using dope, and dope works fine. It doesn't pull up. Same with the fillets. You don't need primer on the fillets, where I thought you did. Well, that's going to do it for our hour. I appreciate you guys spending the time with me, and I really appreciate the super chats from like Roy there. And if you're not a member, please consider becoming a member. It really helps the channel out. That's the join button down at the bottom. It's $4.95 a month or $9.95 a month, or if you feel so inclined, $24.95 a month. And it really, really helps me out. That way I can bring this content to you by buying supplies in order to put this out. Everything I get goes right back into Stunhanger and the channel. I ain't like a gambling channel that makes $700 to $1,000 a week. I'm lucky to make $50. There. All right, we'll see you after a bit. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.